There was a beautiful pond in a forest. In the middle of that forest was a place like an island. One has to cross that pond to get to this island. The island had delicious fruits and vegetables. All the animals in the forest have a desire to eat the fruit that is there. But no one dared to go to that place. There were a lot of crocodiles in that pond. One day, a rabbit living in the same forest went to the pond to drink water. Then he looked at the island. The rabbit wondered, "I want to go to the island and eat all the fruits and vegetables there, but how can I escape from these crocodiles?" The rabbit had an idea. The next morning, the rabbit came to the pond and called all the crocodiles loudly. The crocodiles approached the rabbit angrily, wondering who had dared to call us like this. It simply came to notice then. "Promise me you will not do anything," said the rabbit. A crocodile said, "Don't worry, we will not do anything to you. This wild king wants to put a big dinner on all the animals here. He wants me to make a list of animals in the jungle. He told me to count how many people are there to attend the heavy dinner. I will tell the king how many people there are in total," said the rabbit. All the crocodiles talked inside them for a while. Then a crocodile asked, "Well, how do you count us?" "I would jump on your back and count it so easy for everyone to stand in line one after the other," said the rabbit. All the crocodiles did as the rabbit said. The line extends from the shore of the pond to the shore of the island. The rabbit immediately jumped on the crocodiles' backs and successfully landed on the island. Throughout the day, the rabbit ate all the fruits and vegetables, rested well, and came ashore in the evening. The rabbit that had gone in the morning came back in the evening, and the crocodiles asked, "What have you been doing for so long?" "It simply came to my notice then. Counting how many of you are is not that easy. This time, I will definitely count correctly to stand in that line like it was in the morning one more time," said the rabbit. All the crocodiles believed what the rabbit said and stood in line again. Immediately, the rabbit jumped on the backs of the crocodiles and went safely to the pond, just as a rabbit cleverly escapes from the crocodiles. Morale: we must think and act carefully according to the situations. Once upon a time there lived a donkey in the forest. It was wandering alone because it had no friends. One day a fox came that way. When he saw the donkey, he went near it and asked, "What's the news? Why are you worried, dude?" "I have no friends. I live alone," the donkey replied sadly. "Well, don't worry. From today I will be your friend," said the fox, comforting the donkey. The donkey and the fox have been good friends ever since. They were always seen together. One afternoon, the two friends were walking through the forest in the moonlight. It was cool and sweet. Walked, and reached the edge of the forest. There, a village was found. A garden full of trees appeared. The fruits were hanging in clusters. "Wow, they are wonderful, tasty fruits. Can we eat some of them?" asked the donkey. "Well, we can eat the fruit, but we have to do this work without making any noise," warned the fox. They went into the garden. They started eating fruits without making any noise. The two were resting under a tree with great pleasure after having eaten the required amount of fruits. "We are happy to have the most delicious fruits. But the donkey said that there is only one missing now in this pleasant environment." "What is that?" asked the fox. It said, "It's music. Why didn't you realize it?" The donkey asked in surprise. "Where are we going to get music from?" asked the fox. "Don't you know I'm a great singer?" said the donkey. The fox was very worried when he heard this. "Don't forget, buddy, we are in a garden now. If the gardener hears our voice, we will have trouble. If you want to sing, we can get out of this place," the fox advised the donkey. "You are thinking that I won't sing well, do you?" the donkey said sadly. "Wait, listen to my sweet voice now." The fox realized that the donkey was refusing to accept his good advice. The fox moved from there, hiding itself behind the dense sea trees. The donkey raised its head and began to shoot loudly as it looked up. Hearing this noise, the gardener and other farmers rushed to the spot. The donkey was beaten severely. The injured donkey shouted with pain all over his body. After those guys left, the fox approached the friend. "Is this the gift you got for singing?" asked the fox. "They don't seem to enjoy good music," said the donkey with a little embarrassment. "Did you learn a great lesson today?" The fox asked his friend about the donkey. Morale: it is better to obey for good, evil to be denied. It was a cold winter's morning. All the places looked bright and white because of the snow. All the birds and animals were sleeping in their homes. They did not get any food to eat and were hungry. And as it was so cold outside that they settled inside. But one animal among them couldn't sleep. It is a grasshopper. It is a noisy insect. All the creatures were sleeping, but the grasshopper couldn't. It wanted to see what was going on outside. When he came out, he saw that the whole forest was white. The forest was so beautiful to see that it was like the grasshopper wanted to sing. It jumped from one place to another and reached a tree. It started singing loudly. He rubbed his legs together to the rhythm of the song. It was having fun. An owl lived in a nest at the base of that tree. It slept for so many days because it was very cold. Owl woke up hearing the loud song of the grasshopper. "Who is this loud singing creature disturbing my winter sleep?" asked the owl to himself. The owl came up to see who is disturbing its sleep. The grasshopper was singing happily while sitting on a branch of the tree. The owl was very angry with the grasshopper for disturbing his sleep. As it was suddenly awakened one winter morning, it became very hungry. The owl silently approached the singing grasshopper. The owl caught that stupid grasshopper and ate it. Returning to the nest, the owl slept peacefully until the end of winter. Like all animals, the grasshopper would not have lost its life unnecessarily if it had remained in its habitat throughout the winter. Moral: unwise speed leads to accidents. There lived a man named Peter near a beach. He was very rich and he had a crow. Every day he would feed the crow a lot. The crow ate the food he gave and became very fat. The crow was very arrogant. It is always talking arrogantly to everyone. One day the crow saw some swans standing on the beach and went to the swans and said haughtily, "You are just beautiful to look at, but you cannot fly fast like me." Then a swan said, "Friend, we have only come here to rest for a while, and we have no time to argue with you." At once the crow said, "No, compete with me if you dare." A swan asked, "What do you dare us?" And the crow said, "Let us both fly a few miles from this shore, and whoever goes first is the best." Immediately the swan also agreed to the crow's dare. This crow flew so fast, forgetting about its body weight. The swan also flew as fast as possible. After going some distance, the crow got very tired. So nothing can be done now. It knew very well that if we went down, it would drown in the sea and die. The crow kept flying very tired, not knowing what to do. Seeing that, the swan said, "My friend, I am watching you. What happened to you? I think you are so tired." To which the crow said, "I cannot go a little further. If I do so, surely I will fall into this sea and die." Then the swan said, "Well, don't worry, get on my back and I will take you to the shore." Immediately the crow climbed on the swan's back and went safely to the shore. The crow went to the shore and apologized to the swan. "My friend, forgive me. I have spoken to you so arrogantly. I should not have spoken to you like that. If you hadn't helped me, I would surely have died today." A male deer was wandering in the forest and became thirsty. It came near a pond in search of water. As it was very thirsty, it drank stomach full of water. Then he saw his image in the water. It saw in the water the image of its horns spread like branches above its head. "How beautiful they are! These horns are the reason why I am the most beautiful animal in the world," he said to himself. As said, the deer stooped down and looked at his thin legs, very disappointed. "No, these legs make me unattractive. I can't be the most beautiful animal in the world," he lamented. A hungry tiger stood behind the trees, silently watching the deer. It was moving very slowly towards the deer. The tall grasses rustled. The deer, absorbed in its thoughts about beauty, did not notice the approach of the tiger. The tiger jumped to catch the deer. The startled deer started running very fast, escaped from the tiger and ran at high speed. The tiger came chasing far behind. By the time the tiger decided that he could not catch the deer in any further chase, the deer's horns got caught in a tree branch. The deer tried hard to free itself from the tree branch, but the deer could not free the horns. I was ashamed that my legs are not beautiful. They helped me to escape. I was proud of my horns. But they are going to be the cause of my death, said the deer sadly. In the meantime, the tiger, approaching the deer, pounced on it and killed it. Moral of deer hunting stories: beauty doesn't stay forever. A fox and a bear were friends in a town. This fox was always making money by cheating others. One day it said to the bear, "Friend, let's do some farming and earn money." And the bear said, "Okay, friend, let's do some farming." Then both of them chose a field together. They cleaned the field well and plowed it. Before sowing, the fox said to the bear, "Friend, this time I will take what grows above the ground. You take everything that grows under the ground." The bear also agreed to that. This fox is very cunning, so after sowing the sorghum seed, the fox took all the sorghum that grew above the ground, according to the agreement of the two. But the bear was left with only roots. So next time the bear said to the fox, "Friend, last time you took all the harvested items above the ground, so this time I will take all that's going to be harvested above the ground, and you take all the items below the ground." The fox agreed with a cunning smile. This time the fox cunningly planted the groundnut. This time too the yield was good, and the fox got a lot of groundnuts. As the bear said, the bear took everything above the ground, and the fox took everything under the ground, so the fox took all the groundnuts that were harvested. But the bear got only the leaves. Now this bear understood the trick of the fox. So it decided to stop befriending the fox and thought of doing something on its own. Morale: do not make friends with evil-minded people. A lion lived in a forest. That was the old lion. The lion couldn't run fast. As the days went by, running and hunting became a difficult task. One day, wandering here and there in the forest in search of prey, the lion found a cave. By the appearance of the cave, it realized that some animal might have stayed here. Thinking that it slowly entered inside the cave. There were no animals inside. It hid inside and thought, "I should wait for the animal to come." The cave was the place of a fox. Every day the fox would go out in search of food and come back to the cave in the evening to rest. After dinner that evening, the fox began to move towards his residence. When he came near, he saw that something was a change in the situation. Everything was quiet there. Something went wrong. Why do all the birds and insects keep quiet without making a sound? Thought the fox. Slowly approached the cave with great care, looked around the place to see if there was any sign of danger. Its intuition warned of the danger that awaited when approaching the entrance of the cave. The fox thought and scripted a plan as if to say, "I must enter only after confirming that everything is all right." Accordingly, that clever fox called the cave, "My wonderful friend, Cave. What happened to you today? Why are you so quiet?" asked the fox. The lion heard this. The fox's voice echoed inside the cave. The lion realized that the cave must be quiet because of my presence, so it decided to do something before the fox realizes its presence. Again, the fox continued to speak. "Cave, have you forgotten our deal? That you have to welcome me when I return home?" The fox raised a question tactfully. "Come in, friend," the lion replied with a soft voice. When the fox heard the lion's voice outside, the birds flew away. The fox's body trembled with fear. The fox ran to save his life before the hungry lion planned to kill him. The lion was waiting for the fox to enter the cave. The fox did not come even after a long time. The lion realized after that he had been fooled. The lion grieved himself, knowing that he had missed its prey by his foolishness. Justice. Everything is a problem for the ignorant. So kids, today, From first story, we have learned that we should be friends with good people. Being friends with evil-minded people will lead us to grieving. From the second story, we learned everything is a problem for the ignorant. So we should not be ignorant or foolish. We should always be clever and hard-working.